Welcome to another episode of Grow Together TV. Grow Together Initiative TV, GTI TV, I'm sorry. With us today, we have Ramon. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And my daughter Catherine with us as well, sorry. I just want to ask, we met on Thursday night at an event this past Thursday, and you're willing to come in and discuss kind of what you do. So can you tell us kind of your story and how you got started?
Sure. So in short, we launch brands, which means we provide the rocket fuel to grow businesses and organizations, nonprofits, institutions through digital marketing, web development, creative brand strategies. We help grow businesses essentially by using our creativity.
Great. And what components do you use? Is it web-based? Is it e-commerce? Or what kind of ways do you reach your audience? Because we can reach globally, and I think you're around the globe as well, right?
Yeah, we have clients in 35 states and several countries. We recently helped launch a bank in Guyana. We go international. Yeah, we go international. So our my personal background is art. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts and Visual Arts, and I come from what you would call the print world. Marketing, graphic design, direct mail, advertising, but my team brings a whole new set of skill sets in addition to that. So we have a web team that does software development, mobile apps, websites, including e-commerce sites. Mm-hmm. And then we have a digital marketing team that focuses primarily on social media marketing, email marketing, Google ads, paid advertising. And then we have some consultants that do like outdoor media and radio and TV, so more media buying. So it really depends on who you're trying to reach. We identify where are they, and we help work on your messaging and what the call to action is, and then we connect the dots.
Yeah, I love that you're in all these different facets of marketing. So my background's in sales, and they always say one of the things to say when someone gives you a rebuttal is, you want to be in different avenues. You don't just want to be in print. You don't just want to be on the radio or on TV. You want a combination of all of it, and especially you mentioned social media. We are learning how pivotal social media is, and it's a great tool. It has its challenges and its fallbacks, but if you utilize it properly, can you talk to that a bit about your experience with social media?
Absolutely. So what you're talking about are integrated marketing campaigns, right? So you need to be everywhere. And oftentimes we'll get a small business owner with a very limited budget. Say, for example, it's a cafe or a diner or a restaurant, and they're hesitant to do social media because they want to know, well, what am I going to get out of it? Right. What's my return? Because it could be expensive. You have to understand some outlets are for brand awareness and some of them are for conversion. So if you see a billboard on 95, you're driving. You're not going to probably call that number as you go by, 80 miles an hour, or you're not going to visit that website while you're driving, but it's brand awareness. It's meant to just put them on the radar, so when you're in need, you think of them, but it has to be integrated. It can't just be that billboard. It has to be that you saw the billboard, that you saw the ad on social media, that maybe you heard a radio spot, right? Maybe you saw them on TV, right? So it all depends, who are they trying to reach? If they're ambulance chasers, you see them up and down 95, right? So if they're more corporate law or something more specific, then maybe you see ads on LinkedIn, right? But it's identifying who you're trying to reach, where are they, and making sure you have a presence there. And again, some of it, if you really, like I told the restaurant owner, I said, if you really want a return or to see if it's working, send a postcard out and make them cut out a coupon to get free, buy one, get one free breakfast on a weekend. Now, if you see that coupon come in, the postcard worked. If you're doing something on social, maybe you put a promo code. Mm-hmm. Or a billboard might sometimes have a promo code. If they say that code, and that's the only place that you had it, then you know that worked. But you need, they call them SMART goals, right? They're measurable, right? You can't just create a tactic but then not know whether it worked or not.
Yeah. And you have, it helps you identify where that's coming from. Right. So that's the art of doing this.
Right.
And you can oversaturate it.
Yes.
And so you need to back off and maybe do something else. And it constantly is changing.
True.
It's kind of like playing a game.
True.
Right?
Too many people take like that shotgun approach is what I call it, where they just try everything, but they're not measuring anything. So how do you know what worked, right? So you really got to look at the data.
Well, I love what you said about some are for awareness and some are for conversion. I hadn't heard that phrased that way before, and I think that's such a simplistic way to put marketing in general, and that's not something that I necessarily would have thought to say, but that's such a brilliant way to kind of categorize what is your purpose of doing this, and you do need both.
Right.
Yeah.
And so some goals might be increase followers, podcast or TV show, increase viewers, but you want it to be measurable, right? So too many of our small businesses now are struggling in this economy, so they don't have extra cash laying around. If they do something, when they get to the point where they feel like they need to, right? Sometimes it might be too late. There's that old adage that they never advertise, and then the only sign they put in the window was, "We're out of business," right? So you need to maintain awareness consistently. But for small businesses, it's important for us to set some realistic expectations. We like to work in 3-month sprints so we can get enough data to be able to walk them through it and say, here are the things we tried this quarter. Here's what worked, here's what didn't. And it's common sense. You do more of what worked and less of what didn't.
And that's outstanding. I mean, in what you do, I mean, even being on this show, how do you like to give back? I mean, you do it through GTI,
absolutely.
obviously. And what are give some examples on how you intentionally try to give back to the community to bring your awareness, but it's also to bring awareness to others to help support these initiatives?
Absolutely. I mean, that's huge, especially if you're managing millennials, Gen Z, the younger demographic, the younger workforce. They're more and more in tune with social causes. They really don't want to work someplace that's not making a difference. And so when you weave that as a small business owner or any size company that's trying to retain staff, you have to have some initiatives in place to make the world a better place. We all have that collective responsibility. And personally, you know, I've always benefited from other people looking out for me. They may have seen something in me, guided me in this way, guided me in that way, and I'm very blessed and fortunate to, by, you know, all different ways, getting to where I am today, right? And so part of that is, okay, there's a saying, to whom much is given, much is required, or much is expected. Spider-Man says, with great power comes great responsibility. So I try to instill that in my team. And so I think last year we donated over $40,000 back to nonprofits that we serve. We look for those reciprocal relationships where we can help a nonprofit that's in alignment with our values. They hire us, because the small businesses, you can't just ask them for money without them having the business to make the money. But when they're in alignment with us, it becomes this reciprocal relationship where they help us, we help them. There's alignment. The team feels like they're part of something bigger, and we can all do our part to make the world a better place.
Right, and you know, having something like this kind of encourages people to engage.
Exactly.
I know we all get a lot more out of things that are helping society move forward and connecting in communities. You know, we had the event last Thursday night, and you hosted it, which was wonderful. And thank you. It was a wonderful event.
Did an amazing
Thanks for
job.
coming.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming.
And how do we kind of get people to be aware of coming together like that?
Yeah.
You know, and because that's where things are done. It's
it's
still done with the personal face-to-face interactions, much more so than doing an electronic way or anything else.
Right. I encourage businesses to utilize content marketing. We're talking about marketing and all the different types, but content marketing is just that. Document things that are happening at your business and share them. It could be, you know, LinkedIn, Meta. We pulled a lot of content out of that one event, and the organization CBNA has been sharing it. But it's important to tell your story, right, through visuals, through video, and see the type of groups. There's equity in brands, so who you align with is important. So, for example, me being here, Peralta Design is now in alignment with GTI. GTI is in alignment with Peralta. We help each other. Iron sharpens iron. So you do that through content marketing, putting out your narrative. And you go back to like companies like Tom's, the shoe company, where you would buy a pair of shoe and another shoe would go to Africa. They were probably some of the earliest brands out there that were putting their brand story or their brand value or their give back on Front Street. And it's very important as you build culture or build business or you know, part of your brand strategy should be to really highlight and tell that story, what makes your business different. And oftentimes there are causes that are close to you. for you, you guys really care about the youth. So do I. So we're in alignment, right? For others, it might be maybe they lost a loved one to cancer, so they're in alignment with Breast Cancer Foundation or something like that. But there has to be more to life than just making money. How are we helping?
Giving people a purpose.
Exactly.
Is kind of the important. Yes, you have to have a business that runs and makes money, but equally important, if not more important, give people a purpose of helping others. And they can do it through all these different organizations.
Right.
So if you leave that organization, encourage the current one you're in to also give back. And anyway, it doesn't necessarily have to be through GTI or anywhere else, but just do something, because it is very fulfilling. I mean, and it helps create connections that we're all in the same boat together, if you will.
Right.
I mean, we went through COVID and they kept saying that we're all in this together, and we really are in this together. And give people resources and support that they otherwise wouldn't know. They wouldn't know how to come to you.
Right. Oftentimes, tragedy brings people together. I mean, look at 9/11, how unified we were. Yeah. The pandemic, everyone's scared. Okay, what are the solutions? And you come together. So when you're going through difficult times, we notice there's always an uptick in new business creation, and that's what we're seeing now. So our business was founded on the principle of helping others launch. I shared my story with you in 2008. I lost my job. I was expecting a windfall, and I lost my job, and was devastated. And during that time, there was no one hiring. And I was really trying like crazy to find another job. And ultimately, after some soul searching, I said, God, if you're not letting me find a job, and I got let go of my job, or laid off, as I'm comfortable saying now, then maybe my purpose is to help others that are displaced, because I knew I had a certain set of skills. And ever since then, I laid aside my fear of financial insecurity and just threw myself into service. And every now and then, when I get caught up in all the negativity that's out there, I have to remind myself, why did we start, who we are, and who do we serve?
I love that you said that, because it really highlights what started your entire movement, really like what it is about your entire company. That shines. We were talking beforehand. You were so hospitable the entire event. You're so genuine and authentic, and it shines through with who you are, how you interact with people. And I think your entire company really shows that, and I think having that story and coming from a beginning like that, you can resonate with people who are struggling, who want to build their business and their company. And I think that's why you've been so successful, because you're not just saying something to say it. You've been there and you want to really help,
Thank you.
Yeah.
And continuing to learn and grow, and encouraging everybody that works within your organization to do the same.
Right.
Adapting to AI and all the different measures, and be able to kind of work through all these different solutions and really kind of implement them and then measure.
Right.
Because that's the key component. You have to be able to measure everything you do, so your continuous improvement, which requires you to learn and grow. So your whole staff was just incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, they really were.
Thank
you did a really good job, and I know they're inspired by you and your energy, your enthusiasm for truly being there to help others to build their business. Yes, you do get paid for it, obviously, but more importantly, I think it looks like you get tremendous enjoyment out of seeing other people succeed.
Absolutely. Part of it is just mentoring and mentoring my team. They say you're supposed to hire people smarter than you, and in my case, younger than me. And there's a joy in watching them grow and develop, and I get to teach them some lessons. They get to teach me some as well. So that's part of the joy of having a staff in the way that I've set up the company. And like I said, when we get a little bit skittish about what's going on, we remember, look, we were founded during the Great Recession. So we were born in the fire. And as long as our mission is the same today as it was then, it's to help others, we're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm. And companies that have that kind of mentality and that focus are going to thrive in this kind of environment, because we're probably due for a correction.
Correct.
And we're going through it right now.
Yep.
And so the companies, there's going to be a lot of new startups, especially with people getting laid off now and all that. And it creates a great environment for people to go ahead and take ownership of their own outcome.
Right, and it's a scary time for marketing companies with the advent of AI, because a lot of people feel like, well, I can make my own flyer, or I can make my own script, or I can do this. And it's like, you can, but we're embracing it as a tool. We're now offering services at a more affordable cost for smaller businesses that are forming. So it's kind of, if we look at it, it's all in alignment. It's all going according to plan, because during these times we have to get creative, and now we have tools that can at least offer some of these smaller businesses a solution that they may not have been able to afford otherwise.
And you learn from the tool.
Exactly.
Kind of like your phone, right? Don't rely on it,
right,
but learn from it, and you take different perspectives, and you can kind of use whatever, put your own mark on it.
Right.
And that's what makes a difference, because people can easily identify if it is purely an AI. You know,
they can,
not that hard,
and that's going to be. So AI is very utilitarian. It's a tool. It doesn't have values. Humans have values. Humans have morals. AI doesn't. So it's very important, how do we program it, and not just how do we program it, but where do we intervene? So in any business, there are businesses popping up now that are just dedicated to how do you incorporate AI into your processes, and it's very important to figure out where is their human review. So it's not a set it and forget it. It's not gonna replace us, but we have to learn how to use it. Take away some of maybe the more menial tasks, so that you can spend your energy on the things that really make a difference. Right? So we're embracing it, we're using it, we're teaching people how to incorporate it. It's not going away. It's quite amazing, but it's nothing to be afraid of.
Well, and I think that messaging is why you're going to be continuously successful. You have the foundation of being who you are and such a good person, but you're also adapting and learning and growing, and you're not shying away from different challenges, which I think is why you're going to be so successful, continuously. I'm curious, what advice would you have for a business, just blanket statement of, if they're struggling, what would you say to them?
Well, I would say, first of all, the three things that I mentioned earlier, which is, remember why you started, right? I think that's important. Make sure you have a strong why, and that not only you remember it, but your staff and your customers remember it. Remember who you are, meaning, your failure, is just a way, first attempt at learning is what some people say it stands for. So it's basically a learning opportunity. So you're not really looking at it as a failure. You're going to get better and stronger. And then remember who you serve. Right? You can't serve everyone, so make sure you understand who your target audience is, and put out good content. Right? We all have this ability to put out good stories, good narrative. I like to follow and preach the golden content ratio, which is 50% of what you're posting or sharing is educational. So people that are in business need to share and be okay sharing their expertise. Become a subject matter expert. Help others genuinely. People will engage with that. You're providing value. The other 30% is entertainment. That's when you show behind the scenes, the culture, some before and afters, some testimonials. People love to see that. Positive, again, positive news. That's 80% of your content. And the last 20 is where you promote. Here are my verticals, here are my services, here's a promotion I'm running this month. Problem is, either they don't post at all, and what I mean by post is like social media, or on your website, or a blog, or LinkedIn, or all they post is promotional. And then people disengage because you're constantly, you get that salesman approach. People don't like that energy. But if you have the spirit of giving and the spirit of value, you're gonna build a following. And I also have an abundant mindset. So I would encourage those in business that are struggling to not have a kind of a spirit of lack, but rather one of abundance, and that to believe that there's enough for all of us, to believe that if you do what you're supposed to do, your clients will find you, right? So we collaborate more and competition less.
That's great. And finally, do you have any words of wisdom? And I know Catherine's already mentioned this.
Yeah.
But any words of wisdom for how to engage someone like you, or at least someone who does the branding and protects the brand? What would you say to them? How can they reach you and whatnot? Can we kind of give a way to reach your company and at least give them some insight, and they can do some research about what
absolutely. So Peralta Design, Peralta Design. We're on all the platforms: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Those are the three that we primarily focus on. You could also find us on our website, peraltadesign.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Peralta Design, or you can follow me, Ramon Peralta, 1906. I'm on Instagram. We're always in the community. We're easily accessible. With technology, we can meet virtually. or we'd love to have you, as you guys did, come visit us.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it, Ramon. Thank you, Catherine. And from us at GTI TV, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.